Growing up, I always knew I was going to hit some part of the revolution, but maybe not like completely.
This is Soccer a la Frontera, and we're exploring soccer culture in the San Diego-Tijuana region. From the streets to the stadiums, professional soccer has come a long way since its early days here. Today, women's soccer in the San Diego-Tijuana region is synonymous with success, professional teams on both sides of the border, passionate fans, and a hub for top talent.
Not many people get the opportunity to represent your home team, so when you do it, you take full pride in something super special, and I just have a different connection to this club, this team, this city.
Soccer is something that really brings people together, and how we say here in TJ, in Cholos, there's no borders, so we're all one.
The explosion here is part of a much larger trend. Across the world, the women's game has never been more popular, but it's been a long and bumpy ride.
We were fighting to put women's soccer on the map. We wanted to have a professional league in the U.S.
Fighting decades of inadequate opportunities, unequal pay, and blatant sexism.
At that point, I didn't even know we had a U.S. women's national team. So for me, I didn't even see it as a vehicle to get me to college. I was just playing because I loved it, and it was my time, my release.
It started with the nationwide passing of Title IX in 1972, which prohibits sex discrimination in education programs, including athletics. That paved the way for young women across the U.S. to play soccer in school. By the late 1980s, the revolution in San Diego had begun.
San Diego, throughout the years, have had a really big community of women's soccer, from the professional and semi-professional teams that we saw here in earlier years to the rec leagues.
First came the San Diego WFC Sea Lions, an amateur team featuring women who played in college.
The Sea Lions allowed women that loved and just had an absolute passion for the game, but maybe didn't have the opportunity, the timing was wrong, but it allowed them to continue to play.
A decade later, they became a founding member of the Women's Premier Soccer League, still the longest running active women's soccer league in the United States. Then came 1999, a watershed year for women's soccer in San Diego and beyond.
We wanted to be able to say, this is the next step, and that came after the '99 World Cup.
Finally, after the historic World Cup win, the Women's United Soccer Association formed as the first paid professional league. In 2001, at Torero Stadium, the San Diego Spirit took the field.
To now think we're on a stadium and there's little girls and little boys in the crowd that are wearing our jerseys and cheering for us is like, if you see it, you can believe it.
The league only lasted a few years, but it broke some major barriers.
I want girls to know that it is possible, because before it wasn't possible.
Fast forward to 2012, and the National Women's Soccer League was born. This time, it was a women's professional league that was here to stay.
I think every single player can afford to have soccer be their career. If they have a contract in the NWSL, I think in Mexico, that's still growing.
Mexico followed 5 years later with the founding of Liga MX Femenil. It's a women's league that's here thanks in large part to relentless advocacy in Tijuana.
As the Mexican national team for the women's has grown, I think young girls are literally saying, no, I want to play soccer. No, I want to do this. I want to be like her.
In 2021, San Diego Wave FC landed north of the border and has become one of the NWSL's marquee franchises. They have a devoted following that's helped to break attendance records.
The San Diego Wave represents something that we all wanted to have when we were younger. You know, women who are able to play professionally, to be treated professionally.
Until her recent retirement, their star was World Cup champion Alex Morgan, an idol for many.
I remember asking her for her jersey at Qualcomm Stadium, so to even be able to get the opportunity to share the field with someone you have a jersey of is just incredible. And I don't think it would have happened as fast if we didn't have people like her supporting and fighting for us.
To be a part of the first ever professional women's league, let alone in my hometown, it's powerful because I grew up chasing my older brother.
With thousands of fans cheering on their home teams on both sides of the border, the women's game has plenty of room to run.
There's little girls running around the fields of San Diego right now that now have something tangible they can go support and be a part of and dream and go after it, and it's incredible.
Up next on Soccer a la Frontera, Part 4, Mexico's outsized impact on our region's soccer scene.